Hi, this is Erin Lincoln with Make It Monday. Today we are making this very versatile sentiment card. There it is, lovely. Using multitudes of sets as long as you have the same type of sentiment. You can use one set or you can use 5 sets. It's whatever you got. It's very versatile. You're starting off with your basic A2 card out of Smoky Shadow, already cut and folded. You're also going to need a bright color. I'm using Hawaiian Shores, matte, and in white, your stamping piece. This is going to be your panel. Really, you can use whatever measurements you want. I just put mine on the back in case some of you were wondering. Alright, first, go ahead and organize all your sentiments down. So I'm using the thank you theme. So I went through and picked out some of my favorite sentiments and a little tiny little piece from Wonderful Whimsical. Alright, first up, say it with style. I'm grabbing that Wonderful Circus font, thank you. I'm using Memento ink because I want to color this in with Copics a little later on. This is in Tuxedo Black, and it works well with Copic ink. They will not smear. Going all the way up to the top. Alright, that was a nice big thick chunky font. I want something kind of small and elegant now to give a little variety and not make the top so heavy. So I'm going for Heather's Simple Sentiments. I like this one because it has all the little tiny related sentiments underneath the larger thank you. I'm going to offset it a little bit. It's not going to be fully left justified. There you go. Peel that off. Clean it later. I use baby wipes, but you don't want to see that. It takes too long. Up next, Inside Out Thank You. I'm going to use 2 variations of thank you from this set. This first one is a very clean, I kind of think of it as the paper tray ink font. Again, off center. You see how we're kind of going towards the right. Alright, now it's time to balance that out with a little script. We're actually going to head back in the other direction now. We're kind of working for the balance here. Trying to fill up that card at the same time, not make it heavy on one side and light visually on the other. And lastly, because I really want to balance out that thick chunky font at top, I'm using Big and Bold Wishes, the thank you. You'll see here in a second how nicely it balances all out. It's a very graphic approach. You think I'm talking about ice skating. It's a very graphic approach. Alright, there you go. I'm going to put away my ink for now. Now I'm going to use Copics. I'm using the Hawaiian Shores colors that have been selected. They're not in the store yet. It's BG 15, 23, and 49. Now you can't really see what I'm doing, so we're going to cut away here and leave all the coloring tips to our pros, like Debbie Olson. There you go. Trust me, it's colored. And just for a little bit more color, I'm taking an itty bitty tiny little stamp from Wonderfully Whimsical and stamping it kind of up towards the big colored thank you already. So I want to add just a little more touch of color. You want to do things in 3s. So I colored the thank you. I'm going to color these little hearts. And then there's going to be a felt flower accent that's going to be in the same color. And if you're looking for a quick, easy, keep these ideas in mind. It's a nice balance. You can see them there. That's how it looks. It looks like it was one stamp, doesn't it? Instead of, gathering all your sentiments. Okay, remember I have this one piece of Hawaiian Shores cardstock. That's what I'm using to mount this white panel. There's no Hawaiian Shores on one side, and that's because it's going to be completely left justified on my card instead of centered. Thanks to all the ladies I met at a paper tray ink crafting stamping day who convinced me to get the ETG gun. Totally agree. It's really awesome. I'm sold on it. And there we go. We've placed it on our card. Coming up, you're going to see another close-up of what's going to come next. What we want to do is we want to balance the color up top with some bright color in the opposite corner with this felt flower. We're going to show you how to do that. We're using our wonderful Paper Tray ink felt in Hawaiian Shores and Simply Chartreuse. And we're using the beautiful Blooms 2 collection dies, the number 3s. They're like the daisies. I call them the daisies. They're kind of skinny. Okay, this is how I always cut for my die cutting. I lay out what I want, cut, and then I trim around not to lose a single piece of that precious felt because it's, you know, a hot commodity. That stuff's awesome. You don't want to waste any. There you go. To the side, I'm using my Cuttlebug. If you're like me, your plates are completely worn out. As long as they cut, what does it matter what they look like, right? I'm using a little shim. Sometimes with the felt, in my machine you need to do this. It'll help cut all the way through. Without it, it wouldn't. It's kind of fun, a little embossed detail there on that shim from the dies. You can use it for something else. See how easy those just cut away? They're like butter. Cuts like butter. There you go. I want to offset them a little bit. Alright, let's put my Cuttlebug away. Time for a button. Pick that one out. I think it's too big. Let's try something a little bit more in proportion. Perfect true black button. I'm going to go ahead and sew this on through 2 layers of my felt, and that's how I'm going to keep that all together. Just a needle and thread. Really simple. As long as I don't poke myself in my finger. There we go. All done. Now, just because you don't have dies for something doesn't mean you can't freehand cut something. I need some leaves and just some really basic leaves. I don't have a shape in the dies yet with that, so I'm just cutting that. I want 2 of them. I like that snipping sound through the felt my scissors are making. Little things make me happy. Here we go. And that's what my accent's going to look like on my card. Voila. We just have to glue it down. I'm going to use a score tape, which they sell in the store. I think this is 3/8 of an inch. Just kind of like wrapping presents, you want to cut it all at once, you know, and store them on your fingers or the edge of the table. There you go. And just use this to adhere your felt to your card. Here's that big leaf. Now this is a little tricky. It's really hard to stick felt to felt, I've found. And I'm having a hard time getting the backing off that tape. If you overlap it off the felt onto the paper and then use where it is on the paper to peel it off, you'll have much better luck than struggling like I am here. But you know, I'm filming, so sometimes you get a little bit nervous, you don't think. Alright, one last piece of adhesive for our flower, and we're done. Alright, so you've seen the design, you see how you can mix and match your sentiments, different styles, as long as they have the same theme, and you can just imagine how easy this would be to throw together for a gift or a quick note to a friend at the last minute. It took me about 15 minutes total, and you know, with all the sentiments that you have with your PTI sets, you probably have the same one, multiple styles, multiple fonts. Give it a go. You can pull this off. I think this is a very versatile design. Alright, thanks for joining me for the very first Make It Monday, and we look forward to seeing you next week with another one. Take care.